Running in London versus Tehran. Two completely different experiences with their own sets of highlights and challenges. This week, I'm gonna take you through 10 of the differences that I've noticed while training in both cities. Let's get into it. The first difference is running times. In Tehran, you'd start your workout pretty early, I'd say around 4:30 to 7 a.m. in summer to escape the heat, and in winter to escape the pollution and traffic. You can still run until 10, 11, 12, but the earlier you'd go, the busier it is in the parks and the safer you might feel. Whereas in London, you can run literally at any time. Depending on the neighborhood you're in, again, safety-wise. But also in some of the parks, there are minimal lighting after sunset, so it might just get a little bit too dark. The second difference is the running locations. In Tehran, most people drive to parks to do their runs in. It is quite rare to run in the streets, especially for women, though I have seen a few brave ones do it. But in general, because it's a hilly city and it's built on a mountain foothill, it's just a bit more difficult to find good running routes in. And also the pavements quality aren't really that good as well. Whereas in London, you can almost run anywhere. It is for the most part, flat city. And you can run around so many monuments, rivers, and a lot of really cool locations to run in. The third one is pretty obvious, the weather conditions. In London, you've got a lot of windy, rainy, stormy, whatever, everything falling from the sky days. Whereas in Tehran, everything's just a little bit more subtle. Other than some of the days heat in the summer, but we try to move past it. But instead, we've got the pollution. Wait, let me show you. Number 4, I had a lot of hopes and dreams for you, but since Friday, I don't really know what to say. I was thrown out of the park today for wearing this. So there was this car, and they once told me, "Hey lady, put your scarf on," but I didn't have a scarf. Their whole problem was with this bit back here, apparently. I don't even have long hair, so insane. But I didn't really pay attention to them, and I ran past them because I was so focused. I was really struggling from last week that I couldn't do my long run, and I was just in my own mental space, and I was just trying to, finish my training. And so I didn't pay attention to them. I ran past them, and then I saw them again. They weren't in the car that time. They were just these guys. I think they're just, I don't really know if they're attached to the morality police or the park or security or whatever. But then they said something like, "Oh yeah, this thing doesn't listen," or something, and they got on the car to then come and chase me and stuff. And I was so scared because I was like, oh my god, they're chasing me. And then after I finished my workout, I was walking back to my car, and I just managed to finish it maybe 100 meters away from my car. So I was just walking to my car, and then they stopped. They were like, "You have 5 minutes to leave this park." And yeah, I was like, okay. Yeah, it's just such a shame because it's you found a really good park, and it's a really good route. It has really good air quality compared to the rest of the city, and something like this happens, and then you don't know what's going to happen next time. And I don't know, I just don't really like their tone. The way they talk to you is so humiliating and inhumane. And yeah, it's such a shame because other than that, it was a really good day of running for me. I think what you wear really depends on where you go, what day it is, who's on security, who's around you, and what other women in the park are looking like. But I think in general, full length running leggings and maybe a t-shirt, not so tight fitting. Short sleeve to maybe 3/4 sleeve, long sleeve would be better, with some sort of head covering, which I thought that a headband or a cap would be fine, but since yesterday, maybe I'd need a scarf for my favorite location. But in London, you can wear almost anything, which is really nice. The fifth one is the running communities with a view of the Mila Tower right here. In London, there are so many run clubs. It's insane. There are so many events and gatherings and social runs and whatnot. Whereas in Tehran, everything's just a little bit more minimal. And because of the limitations on public gatherings, it's just a bit more difficult to arrange these kind of things, but still there is a strong running community that is growing every day. Number 6 is safety and solo running. I've ran in both cities, and in both cities there are people who encourage you, and there are also people who mock you or laugh at you or whatnot. And I guess it is quite similar, but in Tehran, everything's just a little bit more trickier for women. Number 7 is, yes, you've guessed it right, greenery and favorite parks. Tehran just isn't as densely green as London, and I'm also quite new to the running scene here, so I'm not in the perfect place to say this, but here are my favorite parks so far. Pardisan Park is my favorite for intervals under 2 kilometers. And Yas Park is perfect for more polluted days and anything, I'd say maybe under 15K for me. And Velayat Park is really good for longer sessions, as each loop is around 5.5K if I'm not wrong. And there are some really nice trail routes in around Lawasan as well, which I have only tried one. As for London, my favorite routes are probably too basic, so it's best if I don't mention them. Regent's Park and Paddington Recreation Grounds. I love you. Bye. Number 8 is gear and amenities. My gear doesn't really change between the two cities, but in terms of amenities, in Tehran, almost every park has loads of water fountains and toilets, which just makes everything a lot easier. And there's a culture of people leaving their bottles on the side of the road in parks, which is just amazing. Whereas in London, the good thing is that you can find some cafes in parks, at least one cafe in a park, which makes it really good if you need a mid-run snack, which I always do. Bye. Okay, I have to get started on editing this video, but I have to come clean about number 9 and 10. They aren't really the differences between the two cities, but my favorite moments of running in each of the cities. So in Tehran, my favorite moment is running with my old coach and his club, and just feeling part of a community and warming up with them, cooling down with them, and the conversations we had and the encouragement we gave each other. That was honestly one of the best moments of my whole running journey. And in London, I guess the whole freedom of running, being able to run everywhere, anytime, so many different routes, just meeting loads of people, meeting loads of locations and monuments and, natural attractions through running. Definitely my favorite memory of running in London. All right, those were the most important differences for me of the running experiences in London versus Tehran. I hope you've enjoyed that, and please let me know what are the most important factors for you when running in a new city. That was it for week 3. Check out the stats, and I'll see you for week 4.